That's a gentleman that's putting together the Team Humanities games this weekend in my hometown. He's definitely doing some incredible things. You definitely want to connect with him here on Facebook as well. Doing some great things in the community, not talking about it, but being about it. And that's what we're all about, taking action. So we'll get started here in just a couple of seconds this morning. I want to be talking about servant leadership versus ego. Servant leadership versus ego. That's what I'm going to be talking about this morning. I appreciate everybody jumping on Prosperity Mindset, where we believe more faith, more family, more prosperity. The key to our success. And then we'll get started here in just a couple of seconds. Appreciate everybody jumping on and excited about another day, excited about another opportunity to do great things in our lives and so into people's lives. So I believe that when you have your faith, your family, and your prosperity in order, your life will be in order. So we'll get started here. I see Bob there. Kelton, good morning, y'all. Miss Poe, stay tuned. I'll be in New York City doing a book signing there. You want to stay tuned for that as well. And just stay close, stay connected. Great things happen to great people that are great connected and doing great things. So we appreciate that. Thanks so much for jumping on this morning. Get started here in just a second. This morning I'm going to be talking about servant leadership versus ego. Servant leadership versus ego. And I think I'm qualified to talk about both of them in a big, big way. And I'm going to share some experiences with you this morning that I hope enlightens you and helps you grow and helps you learn from the mistakes and the successes I had in my life and in my business life and my personal life. And that's what leadership is all about, is mentorship. It's taking somebody to levels that you went to, but faster, and not go through the same obstacles and issues that you went through. So this morning, that's what we're going to talk about. I appreciate everybody jumping on a Prosperity Mindset. We're here every single Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. If you do me a favor, hit the notifications tab on this page, so when we go live, you're notified as well. And then when you get an opportunity, give us a review. Go back to the page and review it. I see there's 16 or 17 people that reviewed it. I appreciate everything that you said, and sincerely, I respect your time and attention. This morning, servant leadership versus ego. Servant leadership versus ego. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. You're talking to a person that have been on both sides of this equation. I've been a servant leader in my life in certain times in my life, and then I've been an egomaniac in certain times of my life. And I'm going to talk from both sides of the perspective this morning, because I want you to understand what's at the end of the road on both sides. When you make a decision and you pick a side, I want to talk to you about what's going to happen in your life, in your business, in your personal life, depending on what side you pick. I've been on both sides of this equation. Okay, let's talk about the servant leadership first. You know, I don't care what type of organization, if it's a nonprofit or a church or a corporate America or athletic team, or it doesn't matter what it is. I believe that the individuals that lead with their heart, the individuals that truly are doing it for the right reason, that are doing it for a cause, that are creating a mission, that are creating a movement, and they're sincere. Their mentality is pure. The end result is that they truly want to impact people's lives. They want to get back. They want to sow in those individuals' lives. They want a legacy for their family. They want a legacy for their city, their state, their organization, their culture. Those are individuals that are usually they're self-centered. When I say centered, they're centered and they have balance in their life, their faith, their family, their prosperity. Those things are in order when you identify a servant leader. Those servant leaders are about serving others. They're about making other people better in anything that they do. When they walk into the room lights up. When they get in the organization gets better. When they come home, people are excited to see them. They give people hope. They inspire people. See, servant leaders, ladies and gentlemen, it's not about them. It's about the people that they're serving. It's about the mission. It's about the cause. It's about the bigger picture. It's not about their picture. It's about the group picture. And some people never ever, they start on the side of being a servant leader, but what happens is we get sidetracked with the shiny objects, the power, the pride, the ego, the women, the jewelry, the cars, the things that move us away from being that servant leader. And it's amazing because yesterday in church, the pastor was talking about, where's your goats parked? Where's your goats parked? And it goes hand in hand with servant leadership. See, the enemy is going to attack where we're most susceptible, where we're exposed in our life. But when we're a servant leader, when we're purely doing things, with the greater cause, and we're centered, our faith, our family, our prosperity, we will not allow those other things to distract us and move us away from who we really are, a servant leader. But what happens is, I'm giving you my personal experience, is that I came from a small town, 3,000 people, okay? My family, friends, great people, okay? Everybody that we knew that had success, they had businesses, okay? Or they were in pharmaceutical sales, okay? The personal side of things, okay? So the things that we saw weren't congruent with the rest of the world. So when we got out in the world, our perception of success was not being a servant leader. It was somebody that had a lot of shiny objects that people could point to in our culture, in our little town, could say they're successful. He has a Bentley. He has 2 homes. He got jewelry. He got this. He got that. And that turned us into an ego-driven leader before we even really saw what a servant leader was. I hope this makes sense to everybody here, because this is critical. We have a choice to pick a side, to be a servant leader or an ego leader. We have a choice to be a servant leader that's centered on our faith, our family, our prosperity, or an ego-driven leader that's focused on me, I, money, objects, shiny objects, shiny objects, shiny objects. Shiny objects could be women, they could be guys, they could be jewelry, they could be all these other things that we sin. Our life is built around sin. It was amazing because the pastor said he wanted us to identify 3 areas that we sin the most in. That was our takeaway. And he used the metaphor of where's our goats parked. What he was saying was, what are the things that move us away from being a servant leader and being a great faith-based person that can impact the lives of others? What are those 3 areas that we struggle? We must identify what they are so we can make sure that we're not exposed to the enemy in those areas. And I'll tell you right now, boy, when you start making a ton of money, and I've been there. I've been there when I've been so broke, where I had no money to get gas, and I've been there to the point where I've had so much the bank said, you can't put any more in here. I've been on both sides of it. If you're not centered and have balance in your life with somebody that can help hold you accountable other than yourself, you're on the side of ego. And let me tell you what the end result's going to be. The end result will be destruction, divorce, unhappiness, depression, catastrophic injuries. See, when I moved from the side of servant leader to egomaniac, and it's funny because I was on the phone with a friend of mine last night. We were on the phone at 3 or 4 in the morning talking. And he said, you know what, man? He said, I got afraid for you when I saw one of the videos that you posted. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, man, you posted a video. You were in your garage. You were showing your Ferrari. You were showing your Bentley. You were showing your jewelry. You were flashing your cash. He said, I knew then, man, that you moved from the side of servant leader to egomaniac, and there was going to be something catastrophic on the other end. He said, I was hoping and praying for you that it didn't happen. He said, but weeks later, that's when you had your accident. And I said, you know what? I remember the video. And I do remember the video. I picked a side. I went from servant leader to ego leader. See, servant leaders, it's about the people's lives that they impact. They talk about their students, their team members, their family, their parishioners. The egomaniacs talk about everything it's all about them. It's not about the cause anymore. It's about your cause, your self-centered, destructive mentality. That's what it was about. And once I started really understanding that, it was amazing how I was able to start turning things back around. And it started with me. And it was funny when the pastor said that yesterday. He said, where's your goats parked? That's exactly what I had to do. I had to identify where I was exposing myself to the enemy and fix those areas and surround myself with other people that were going to hold me accountable in those areas. So I made sure I was staying on the side of servant leader and not an ego leader. And my message this morning is this, is that we have a choice. Servant leaders have life after death. Ego leaders go places where it's hot. Servant leaders, people love them. Ego leaders, people hate them. Servant leaders love their students, talk about their students. Ego leaders talk about themselves. See, once I was able to understand really what my cause was and my mission was and purpose was in this life, it was easier this time around to get myself in balance. To get myself in balance. Because I didn't want another motorcycle accident. I didn't want more issues. I didn't want to create an environment that wasn't conducive to what I wanted and what I wanted my life to look like. It's not money driven anymore. Because if you got great things going on in your life, all those things will come. They will come. The question is, can you handle them? See, because if you're a servant leader, you'll get more. It will multiply 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 100 times, over and over again. And biblically it talks about that. But if you're an ego, it'll come and it'll go. Because your head and your heart weren't synergistically working together, and they weren't pure. They weren't pure. We have to make a decision. What side we're going to play on in life. Are we going to play on the servant side or the ego side? I learned a valuable lesson. And what's important is that to know, but Pastor Paul said, know where your goats are parked so you could know how to navigate when things, or when you start trying to, you're kind of tilting yourself on that ego side. Nope, I see myself, I feel myself, let me get back, let me return, let me repent. He talked about that. It was powerful for me and powerful for my family, the people I love and care about that was with me. It's important. Servant leadership versus ego. It's a choice. It's a decision. It's an attitude. It's a culture that we create within ourselves and the people that are around us. And that's what I want to share this morning on a prosperity mindset. So we're here every single Monday through Friday, 10 a.m., 7 a.m. Pacific, and it's designed to get our day started right. And I appreciate all you guys jumping on. Tomorrow we'll get back to successful leaders, successful spiritual leaders. We'll be talking about Moses tomorrow. We'll get back to that tomorrow and go through the week. We're talking about successful leaders from a biblical perspective and how we can use their life lessons and apply it to our life and our business. So it's the prosperity mindset where we believe more faith, more family, more prosperity is the key to our success. If you would, please give me a review on the page. I would love that. Talk about it. If you're getting something from it, please let the world know. Make sure your notifications tab is active so when we go live, you know we're live. All right? Let's keep pushing. Let's keep praying. Let's stay humble. And let's keep doing great things. Take care, everybody. Be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's have a great week. I believe success is a decision. The question is, have you made that decision yet to be successful? Take care, everybody. Be blessed. Enjoy your day.